Hi, welcome to the most important step in the LearnedMealPrep.com Prep Wars Meal Prep Workshop system. Today we're going to talk about the most important key factor it is for you to have success with meal prep, and that's consolidating steps. Over the course of the next few weeks in your workshop, you're going to become an expert at You're going to become an expert and master meal prep so that you can shave down some of that time from 2 hours on a Sunday to about an hour and 15 minutes following these simple steps. You caught me slicing and dicing up my sweet potatoes. I'm a huge fan of sweet potatoes as a complex carb and a source of healthy energy to get me through my busy work week. I'm slicing and dicing my sweet potatoes into about 1/2 inch chunks, and I get to choose between baking them and sauteing them. The difference between the two is when I bake my sweet potatoes, I have to keep an eye on them less. They get nice and soft, and I'm able to put all the seasoning and the coconut oil that I want and just walk away from it. Versus a saute pan here on the cooktop, I have to monitor those sweet potatoes a little bit more frequently. Even if I put a lid on them, I still want to prevent them from getting burned. So that takes a little bit extra time and a little bit extra focus away from me consolidating my steps. However, I get a little bit crispier sweet potato when I cook them on the cooktop. Right? So that's my first step while chopping, dicing, and slicing. But what I want to do first, before any of that occurs, I'm teaching you a little bit of the lesson here. I got my steps backwards. What I want to teach you first, before we get to anything else, is if you're a huge fan of brown rice or jasmine rice and you have more than just yourself to cook for, a rice cooker is a phenomenal tool to have in your kitchen. This can double as a countertop crock pot as well. It can cook soups all day long while you're at work doing other things so that you can come home and have dinner ready. But today we're talking about brown rice because we're going to keep our steps simple. So it takes me about 2 cups of brown rice to get through my entire work week. I portion my brown rice out into an airtight container so it stays fresher longer. And then each and every week I add my 2 cups of brown rice to my rice cooker, and I add a little bit of coconut oil to soften up the rice. It makes it a little bit stickier, a little bit softer, a little bit more flavorful. So I press go on my rice cooker before I come back and do anything else. Before I choose to get to slicing and dicing my sweet potatoes. Back to consolidating steps here in the LearnedMealPrep.com kitchen featuring Prep Wars. We've got our brown rice cooking. We've got our sweet potatoes cooking in the oven. And up next, while those two things are working and cooking at the same time, we want to continue to slice and dice veggies and begin cooking some bulk veggies that we purchased this past weekend at Costco, and then consolidate another couple of steps while we're multi-purpose attacking all of our responsibilities right now. This is the biggest time saver that we can find in our meal prep process. So, brown rice, sweet potatoes, complex carbohydrates rocking as I come to my bulk red peppers. So if I pop this open, I want you to keep in mind that we're working towards saving time and money here. I'm also going to grab my bulk broccoli too. Broccoli is one of those carbohydrates that we need in our diet so that we can increase the amount of fiber that we put into our nutrition program, and it's a nutrient-dense food. So while brown rice and sweet potatoes are cooking, I've got my broccoli starting to boil as well, so that I can save time as I meal prep here in the kitchen, one time on a Sunday. So rinse off my red peppers. Now for illustration purposes, I'll take 2 of my red peppers and I will quickly go through this step. One is going to be a sliced red pepper and the other is going to be a diced red pepper. And there's a difference between the two. I want to make those choices. My diced red pepper becomes part of my dinner recipes, which saves me time. If I dice them today, just like we're going to talk about diced chicken saving us time with meal prep, slicing and dicing my red peppers for my dinners ahead of time saves me the most time throughout the course of the week, because I don't come home from my busy work day shuttling kids to and from sports, to and from after school activities in order to cook dinner from scratch. So I take the toppers of my red peppers and they become diced as well. Okay? So while I'm working today, consolidating my steps during meal prep, I'm also working for Monday and Tuesday nights dinners. Let me show you what happens. I take my sliced red peppers and I put it in a Ziploc baggie for my snacks. I can dip these in hummus as a better fueling snack. That allows me more calories in my diet. I'm going to take the diced red peppers and I'm going to put them in a Ziploc baggie and store them in either the fridge or the freezer so that I can come back later and quick grab in the morning, put it in the fridge out of the freezer, and it will be thawed by the time I come home for dinner. There's our trick on consolidating steps here in the LearnToMealPrep.com kitchen so that you can shave time off of that 2-hour anticipation that we're going to spend on Sundays, and we're going to trim it on down to about 1 hour and 15 minutes over the course of the next few weeks. So practice getting good at slicing and dicing your veggies of choice while other things are cooking. Thanks again. My name is Dave Glazer. Tune into the next video for your next tip to save time and money with meal prep. 3 final steps in our consolidating the meal prep system today. The last few things I want to talk about is while sweet potatoes, brown rice are going, I'm going to set myself up with asparagus now that my broccoli is completed on the stovetop. And notice I'm only using half of the bag of asparagus for my entire week. This is a complimentary veggie that I want to go along with my broccoli, or when I'm not having broccoli with my particular meals, possibly dinner. So I'll throw this in the water. I can add a couple of things like coconut oil or lemon squeezes to make that a little bit more flavorful. When it comes out, I will add sea salt and cracked black pepper. In the meantime, before our final step, here is step 2 of this process. In each of my mason jars, these are fairly affordable at any grocery store, under 10 bucks for like 12 of them. But I'm going to put anywhere from half a cup of oatmeal for the ladies, or 3/4 of a cup of oatmeal for the guys in each of these mason jars, so that I can quickly grab it from my covered space. The night before, I'm going to add almond milk, coconut milk, soy milk, whatever your preference. I don't recommend the dairy because it's going to hold us back from our fitness goals, but I'll add as much milk as I would like, throw it in the fridge, and then in the morning, it's called overnight oatmeal, and there's a bunch of recipes on the blog at fitlifechampions.com/blog, for you to check out. Create your own, message me those ideas, and we'll see if we can get them posted up on the blog here pretty soon. And then finally, our very last step. Now that I've sliced and diced all of my veggies, I can use the same cutting board or the same area that I've been working at to finally start grilling my chicken breast. So I'll slice that open, I'll season it, I'll throw it on the grill because it's only going to take about as much time as my asparagus and about as much time as the remainder, what's remaining left on the sweet potatoes. And then by that time, I've consolidated all of my steps and I've come to that point when everything is completing at the same time. Again, thank you very much for tuning in on this week's educational modules to save you time and money with Prep Wars. Remember to post your homework to Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. Tag us with the hashtag Prep Wars to be entered in the contest for a free prize later on in the workshop. Again, my name is Dave Glazer. Thank you very much.